Hi, everybody. Shoot, there's a cord in my way. Excuse me a minute. It fell down. Oh, there we go. Let's see if that'll stay out of my way. Okay. Hi. Oh dear. Now I need the light this way. Oops, whoa. As you come in, please say hi so I know you're here. I don't want to keep anybody waiting. Hi, Janice. Thank you for joining me tonight. I am excited to be here tonight. Things changed. I was going to do a dual live with one of my group buddies, and that had to get canceled. So I decided to come and finish this big thing. And that's something that's huge. It is absolutely huge. 1 second, I got to move this. I made this pretty little grapevine wreath today. And that little Easter, it says Easter blessings up under there on this. I'm backwards. But anyway, so I need to move it out of the way. And I'm looking for my apron, which is usually right here. Uh-oh. I have ribbons cut, I have everything made, and I can't find my apron, wouldn't you know? And that's kind of important because this stuff snags your clothes. Shoot. Bear with me 1 second. It can't be far. Hey, Donald, do you know where my apron is? I can't find my apron. Do you think it's up at, would you see if it's up in the bedroom? Thank you. Well, I wouldn't either, but it's going to destroy my new shirt. So I need to. Well, doggone it. What a day. I'm so sorry. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Cecilia. Hi. Everybody who's here so far. Hi. Yeah, I have a brand new gauzy shirt and I don't want to ruin it. And I always have my apron right behind me, but it's not there. So I think I'll have to go find something different than my normal apron that has my logo on it. I've been trying to clean up around here to make room for this. Hang on 1 second. This is so unnerving. I am so sorry, everyone, but I will find a way to fix this somehow. My kitchen apron's not in here either. Oh dear.
I don't see it.
Thanks for checking. He can't find it. Oh no, and I can't find my other one. Okay. I'm going to have to be super careful. This is terrible. You don't want to ruin a brand new shirt. Okay. So, my friend Carol lives in St. Peters, Missouri, but she's originally from New York, and she's a huge New York Mets fan. And when I first started doing this, Carol asked me to make her a New York Mets wreath. So I said, sure, I can do that. I'm a big St. Louis Cardinals fan, so because that's where I moved here to Alabama from, and that's where I spent most of my adult life. And I moved there in '81, but I didn't become a fan until they won the World Series in 1983. And they won that game while I was in the middle of a Tupperware party. So anyway, that's the wreath that I've made. That's the basic. And on that, and the reason it's so big is because the sign is so big. I had to make a great big wreath to accommodate the great big sign. And normally my wreaths turn out to be about 24 inches. This one is a little bigger than 26 diameter. I don't know how I'm going to ship it to her. I'm going to have to go to Best Buy and ask for a television box, I think. but that's no biggie. I can do that. So anyway, what I have done here is I have done with the blue, I got all my little bows and ribbons keep sticking. Okay. I made my own wreath form with an 18-inch wreath frame, wire frame. And then I just used pipe cleaners. It's grabbing me already. And so because it's so big, normally a wire frame for a wreath is got 18 tips. This one has 22. And so I just used the pipe cleaners and put them all the way around the bottom and the top. So I used the Pouf method with the royal blue metallic. And then I used the Ruffle method with the orange and blue metallic. The royal blue is 21 inches. The orange and blue is 10 inches, and my ruffles were cut at 20 inches. So there's a lot of mesh in this wreath. So let's get to it. I keep thinking, where did that apron fall to? It's got to be somewhere. Okay, so what I've done here, I'm going to start on the outside, and I've already put 2 in just to see how it was going to look. So I've got my ribbons. I cut them normally I cut my ribbons at 12 inches. Tonight they're cut at 14 because the wreath is so big. So I'm going to try to move this camera down and see if you can see better what I'm doing. There, I don't know if you can see. Is that enough? Y'all talk to me and let me know. Let's see if Carol was supposed to come on here and see. Okay. Gorgeous, thank you. Hey, Wilmeen. Oh. Cassandra Boo. Hey, Bev. Carol and Cassie are here watching. Awesome. I am so glad. I really wanted you to be here to watch. Hi, Rita. Rita's a business buddy of mine, and she lives in Midland, Texas, and she's on board tonight here. Thank you so much for joining me. So I'm going to just continue on putting these. I'm only going to put them in the outside for right now because after I put that big old sign on there, we probably will have a few that will be covered, and there's no point in putting ribbon tails when you're covering them up. It's just, it uses extra ribbon that you don't need, and it kind of smishes them a little bit. And I kind of like the looks of not having smished ribbons. So I'm going to just start. And I wish I could work backwards so you could see me work as I go. But let's see what I can show you. What I do is when I lay my ribbons in and I twist it 3 times around, then I just kind of come up from the bottom and just kind of shape them real pretty. So they just kind of lay down like that. Okay, and so then what I've gotten, might as well do it while I'm here. I have this little orange flex tubing, and then I have these blue polka dot bows too. Can you see? And so I'm going to do every other one. So in the one where I've got the blue and the white ribbon on top, I'm just going to tuck this right on top of it. And I'll just do it while I'm at it so it saves a little bit of time. And I think. Now I'm not opening the ties back up because I have enough. That's the nice thing about making your wreath form with your pipe cleaners is they're longer, and so you have enough to add other embellishments on top without opening them back up. And I love this metallic pipe cleaner because it's kind of a decoration in and of itself. So there we go. So I got that one. So I'm just going to move on around. Oh, it's picking up my ribbons. Why is it that when you go on a live, nothing acts like it's supposed to? Everything works really good when you're not live, right? Let's see, I've got some people talking to me. I am so glad you love it, Cassie. I'm really proud of this. I put a little extra stuff into it and a lot of extra love. Cassie's my goddaughter, and my gosh, she's growing up. I remember when she was born. That was a hectic New Year's Eve. And goodness, how old are you, Cassie? Hi, Vanessa. I know, aren't the colors gorgeous? Orange and blue were the colors for my junior high school. I went to Davis Hills Junior High School, which is no more. and our colors were orange and blue. Okay, so this time, instead of the orange tubing, I'm going to put the little bow in. And I've already got them all made. Tried to save some time. I didn't want to bore you guys, but I will show you how to make these cute little bows. They're not a matter of just cutting and looping. There's a little bit of a trick to them, but they're not hard. And but they're kind of fun to make. And they just add a little extra something on top of that. So I'm going to show you real quick. Let's see. There. See that little bow on top of the other loops? Isn't that cute? And then let's see. I have to go the opposite way. I have to go the opposite way. There. You can see the orange tubing on top of these. So every other one is going to have something different. And it's just, oh, it's grabbing my shirt. I knew it would do this. Oh, shoot. First time I put a shirt on, brand new. It got so warm today, and now I'm sticking to it. Oh, dear. I'm going to have to get another apron if I can't find mine. Catches everything and pulls it onto the floor. This thing is so big, there's no room to work. Let's see. Okay, so now we're to the stripe again. The chevron stripe. Oh, I should show you my ribbons. I'm using the chevron blue and white with the blue and orange on top of each other. And on this one, we've got the orange and white polka dot with the blue and white. And then we'll use different ones for the bow. Wait till you see. We've got some sparkle to put in that bow. And it's going to be a big bow, too. Because this one's not going on their door. You're 23, Cassie. Oh, my gosh. I thought I remember that Carol said that, but I was thinking, oh, my gosh, is she almost 24? Oh, Lordy. And you're a nanny, right? Aren't you a nanny, Cassie? I think that's wonderful. I bet you're a good one, too. That was Carol. Let's go, Mets. Okay. So very nice. Thank you very much. This one's a fun one. It's not what I was going to do tonight when we were going to do a dual live. I was going to do something completely different. And honestly, I wasn't real happy with the way it was going to turn out. So I decided, you know what, I needed to get this done and out the door because, okay, and now we're putting the little bow in. I'm having major surgery on Monday, and I'm going to be out of commission for a little while. And spring season, baseball season's already begun. So I know Carol was anxious to have this, and I know she's not hanging it on a front door. It's going on a wall, which is smart because it will be protected from the elements. And so her house is going to become the Mets, New York Mets clubhouse, because that's what the sign says. So it would be fun to be there to watch games with you. I haven't seen a baseball game in a while. Cardinals haven't been doing all that great. And my Dondi is a racer, so we've kind of moved into, this household is kind of into the NASCAR thing. And even though he doesn't race NASCAR, he races karts. He has a death wish, I swear. He races karts where they lay down, and the only thing up is his head. He's down in this cart that it only weighs, gosh, not even 300 pounds. And he built it, and little gas engine cart, and he lays down in that thing. It's only 8 feet long. He spreads out. He's 6'1". And the only thing up is his head. So he's laying way back with nothing but his head up. And, of course, there's 2 pedals at the end of the cart for his speed, a brake and an accelerator. And he lays in that thing and goes 100 miles an hour. And it just scares me to death. But he loves it, and I don't know what the need for speed. His second love is roller coasters. So I'm scared of them. I'm getting over it. Now I'm putting in this little orange tubing. I'm getting over it. I chipped a tooth on a roller coaster when I was 12. And up until then, I loved them. But when I chipped that tooth, that pain, you can imagine hitting the rail in front of you, the hard metal rail, full force with your front teeth. And I'm lucky I only chipped it, actually. But it was such a terrible pain, and it took forever to go away. And so I was traumatized by that. And so it was a long time before, well, I'll tell you, I must have been about 12, and I finally rode a roller coaster again for the first time last year. He got me on one at Dollywood. Hi, Kathy. Yeah, well, I'm loving them now, but I'll tell you what, I forget the name of that thing at Dollywood. It goes all the way up, and you're in an individual cart next to each other, but individual seats, and it comes down over you. And anyway, you go up, you're almost completely on your back, and go up and up and up and up and up, and all the way up I'm going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And then you hit the top, and of course you're panicking, and it looks like the track goes away, the way it's built. But then you zoom down, and then you go round and round and round, but it's so smooth, and it was so exhilarating and so much fun. So the last time we went, I was so ready to ride it, but it was shut down because it was so cold. So I'm anxious to get back, and I'll get back on it. But all the way there, the line was long, and all the way during that line, I just kept getting more and more and more afraid. So that when we finally got up to where we were going to get in our seats, I actually had tears in my eyes, but nobody could tell because I had sunglasses on. And I thought, this is crazy. This is crazy to be this afraid. Everybody else is coming off this ride alive, so will I, you know. It'll be over in like 90 seconds and no big deal, right? So that's the pep talk I gave myself. And of course, like I said, I loved it. Now, I'm putting this little bitty bow in. These little bows are so cute. Reason I opted for the polka dots is because I thought they looked like baseballs. You know, unfortunately, I couldn't find a bat to put on this wreath because they all look real childlike. And, you know, this is serious business, so I wasn't going to put a kitty bat on this wreath. I love watching your creativity. You're a gift to the lives of everyone who meet you. Oh my gosh, Linda, that's so precious. Thank you. And I love you too. That is adorable. You know, I love helping others, and I love having others teach me new things. I'm always going to be a student, professional student, I guess. And I've been making wreaths for many years and just giving them away. And, well, you know, Social Security ain't great to live on, and so I started watching videos, and I call her my mentor. Her name is Lori, and she has the neatest group, business group, and a design group as well, and I'm a member of both. Hardworking mom, and I've learned a great deal from her. She does some of the neatest stuff, and always doing something new and fun. And but when I watched her videos, when I was thinking about doing this again, I was watching her videos and realized that there are people who are making a lot of money in this business. And of course, it's not just selling wreaths. It's, you know, you do other things other than that. You find ways to monetize your business. You cannot be a one-trick pony. But I just got more and more intrigued, and I love all the women are just amazing. And Lori's so kind and so giving and so willing to help, and she's in South Carolina. My friend Rita, like I said, is in Texas, and then I have a dear friend Carla up in Utah, and another friend Brenda out in Pennsylvania. I'm learning all these people, and some of them I know where they are anyway, but we've become kind of like a family, and it's been so much more than just a business for me. So the more people that come on board and ask questions, if I can answer it, I will. If I can't, of course I don't. But you know, I'm not the boss of anything. And I usually sit back and wait and see if somebody else answers. And nobody else pipes up. I think, they're waiting, so I might pipe in if I know the answer. And I try to be really careful not to give a wrong answer, that's for sure. But wreathing is so unique. Everybody has their own tastes and talents and their own vision, and it just allows you to bring that creativity to life. And I've lost one. There it is. I lost one of my pipe cleaners. It blends in so well with this mesh. It's kind of slowing me down a little bit. When you have your pipe cleaners that match your ribbons and your mesh so well, it's hard to find them. So anyway, it's just a lot of fun. And I'm going to be doing my first craft fair probably not till September. I was hoping to do one earlier, but this surgery is kind of inhibiting that. And then we got to do some traveling to go racing. So, you know, I'm not going to get in the way of that. That's his passion and his love. So, see if anybody's talking to me. Hi, Betty. Thank you for joining. Hi, Kathy, another first timer. Oh, Leslie, thank you so much. What size are my bows? My ribbons, I cut them at 14 inches this time. Usually I cut them at 12, but because this is such a big wreath and so poofy, I was afraid if I cut them at 12, they'd get lost. And as you can see, they're not getting lost, but you can still see plenty of mesh. So I think that was probably a good decision. You know, it's one of those things you just never know when you just decide to do something and you try to reason it out. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, you take it apart and you start over. And I'm glad I didn't have to do that with this one. But it's so big, and I knew that the 14 inches. Sometimes I used to do a lot of 14-inch ribbons, and I like them. However, they can hide your mesh. And if you've got really pretty mesh like this wreath, you don't want to hide it. You know, you want to embellish it, but it's the star. And so you want your wreath to be the star. And so that's why I typically stay with the 12. But my wreaths are not normally 26 and 28 and 30 inches. They're normally 24. So, okay, get me a little. Isn't this tubing cute? I just love this stuff. And I've hardly ever used it. I didn't use it because I was waiting on it to get here. I had to order it. And they still didn't have all the colors I wanted, but I've got quite a few. They didn't have the royal blue. They had a blue and a white, and I tried to mix them, and it just didn't look right. So that's why I went with the ribbon and every other one. And but it just adds a little extra sparkle and a little extra oomph. So we're going to get around here. I'm trying not to take too long. But if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Hi, Dawn. Let's see. You're new. Oh, thank you for coming. All you new people. Hi, Linda. Oh, Linda, first time here. Thank you. I ask you guys to please like my page and follow my page, because the more people follow, the more exposure I get. And also, if you would please share this video with your friends. You know, share it, and if they want to watch it, they can watch it. And maybe ask them to like my page too. And if they don't, then, you know, it's no harm, no foul. But right now, I am over 500 followers on my page, which is remarkable, I think. I'm really proud of that. And but I really like to get to 1,000. And if I get to my 1,000, I'm going to give away a bow maker. So anybody who might be interested in winning a bow maker, if you share my page and get me to that 1,000 likes and a whole bunch more followers, then I'll be giving away a bow maker, and somebody will be able to make some pretty bows by themselves rather than buy them from me. Maybe that's not such a good idea, huh? I'm so glad you're all here. I wish I could talk to you live. That would be a lot of fun. But I can't hear you talk, so, okay. Last one on the bottom. So after we do this, the bottom here, we're going to put the sign on. Then I got a little baseball to put on there. And then we'll make the bow. Well, we'll look around and see. And after we put the bow on, we might need to tuck a few more tails in. That's what we call these little ribbon things, is tails. And so Dondi doesn't like that. He does not like calling them tails. He just doesn't like the sound of that at all. But that's kind of what they are. So fluffing these up, and after we get the bow and the sign and the baseball on, if we need to make, okay, I need one more. Where'd it go? It's caught somewhere, I know. Oh, there it is. If we need to add more, that's what we'll do, and that won't take very long at all. But I'm thinking this bow is going to be really big, because you need a big juicy bow on a big juicy wreath. And this is a big juicy wreath. Okay. So there we go. That's it for the bottom. Just twirl it around a little bit and let you see the bows and the little orange tubing in there. You see it better in person than you can on the screen. But isn't that cute? I think that's so cute. Oh, Rita, thank you for sharing. You know, it's important to me. Do I do every other one with the small bows? Yes, I'm doing every other one, because on the ones that I'm not putting the small bows, I'm putting the orange flex tubing bows. So I actually have small bows in every one, but I'm alternating them. And it's really cute. So here we go. Here's our sign. New York Mets Clubhouse. It says, "Welcome Mets fans." So I've already put the wire. It came with holes in it. So I'm using the silver wire because it just virtually disappears. And then, let's see. I always put more wire than I need. So I'm just going to position this. But you know what? To do that, I'm going to hang it up because it's so big. It's kind of hard to tell. So bear with me a second. I'm going to hang it on this wreath hanger. I think I'm going to put it just a hair crooked. Yeah, I think right there. Let me show you and see what you think. Oh, I'm sticking again. It's going to tear my shirt. Let's see. Okay. What do you think? Just a little bit. Oh, it's this way. Okay. I'm backwards, you know. So I'm thinking at a little bit of an angle, and then up here on the right-hand side, I'll put the baseball, and then this bow is going to go to the left, and it'll hang down here. So I think that'll be perfect. So the trick is to get those wires in through there and find a place to put them. So okay. I found a little gap to go through here. I tried to get as much done ahead of time so you wouldn't be bored watching me make poofs and ruffles. Oh, got my fingers stuck. You know, one of those wires didn't go through. I'm a little perturbed about not having lost my apron, and I was bustling around picking things up so you guys could see, and I don't know where I put it. I'm sure it'll show up somewhere. I thought maybe I'd gone upstairs with it on and taken it off. I end up cooking in it, which I don't want to do, but usually when I'm doing wreaths, I'm also cooking. Okay. This is 26 gauge wire, but I'm having trouble getting it through there. So I'm about to pull out my needles. Let's see. There we go. There we go, right there. What I'm doing is there's a bars on the back, and I'm wanting one underneath it and one above it so that when I pull up the sign, I can twist it. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so I'm going to twist it. But you don't want to twist it too tight because you sure don't want to smash a wreath. But we want it on there very securely. Well, I didn't get it secure enough. I'll come back and tighten that. Let me get this the other top on. Now, the worst part for any wreath maker is putting the sign on the wreath. And I don't know of anybody who will tell you, hey, Jonathan, hey, Nakia, thanks for joining me. Please like and share my video. Yeah, we all say the same thing. The hardest part is putting on the sign. And you want it just so. I may go right through the mesh with that. In fact, I think I am going to go right through the mesh with these wires. You can do that. And sometimes it's better to do that so you don't have a gaping hole. So that's what I'm going to do right here. I'm going to go through the mesh. If I can get the wire to come through. What are y'all doing tonight? They were my junior high colors. Well, I mean, I think they're pretty. And my junior high is no more. The school's still there, but they renamed it. And of course, my high school's there no more. My high school, when I went to that high school, was a brand new building, and oh, it was modern and fancy and had pods, and we got lost the first several weeks we were in there. I was the very first class who went to that school all 4 years. And usually here in Huntsville, 9th grade was in junior high. We didn't have middle school. We had elementary through, it's falling, elementary through 6th grade, and then junior high was 7th, 8th, and 9th, and then high school was 10th, 11th, and 12th. But when they built Butler High, where I graduated, that they decided to make it all 4 years. And so I was the first class that ever went to a high school for all 4 years. And I graduated, I hate to tell you how long ago, it was 1971. My Dondi is making me a wreath, a holder to work with. This is not very secure. And he's making me a nice, secure wooden one, but it's not finished yet. So I'm just doing with what I got until I get more. And it's kind of what you do when you first start out. You just make do until you can build up your supplies of things. Okay, let's see how this is looking. Let's see. Well, I need to tighten it a little, I think. What do y'all think? Is that looking good? You can't see the whole thing, can you? If I hold it down, it's kind of at an angle there. Okay, so I'm not going to have any sleeves left by the time I'm done here. Now I'm going to go and put the bottom wires in. Sometimes when I do this, I use a little plastic needle. They have great big holes, like, you know, almost like children's needles, and you can just put the wire right through the needle and put the needle through. But I don't really need to do that on this one. I don't think. Having said that, I may pull it out. There's one of the wires. Where's the other one? There we go. Okay. Now the secret, like I said, is to get this on without making it too tight. You don't want it so tight that it smashes your wreath. And okay. I got one more to put through here. Let's see. Find me a hole. And I did. I found me a hole. Oh, I got lucky. This one's on a crossbar. The crossbars always make it easier to anchor things. So tell me what's up, guys. I mean, Saturday night is, you know, I guess I thought it was supposed to be date night, but most people don't seem to be doing that anymore. Okay, I'm going to secure this. Hi, Laura. Oh, I miss you too. Laura is a dear friend that I met on Facebook when we were fighting. Laura and I fight together. Well, she's gone heads above me now, fighting for Medicare for All. That's a huge story in and of itself. And I started because my daughter, and I have quite a story that I've told, and I have a video of me telling the story. And actually, Laura came on my show. I have a show called The Progressive Talk, and we did a show on Medicare for All. And so it's great to see you here. Okay, so the sign is on. I will tighten this top one a little bit, but right now I'm going to go ahead and put our little baseball on. Laura, I'm making wreaths. I started a business. Oh, okay. Look at this cute little baseball. Isn't that cute? It's actually made out of wood. I think it's wood. Anyway, I'm just going to stick this right up here. And then after I get that little ball on there, then we're going to make the bow. And see what else we need to add to this. So here comes this little baseball. I was looking for something that didn't look hokey, you know. I wanted a nice baseball. I didn't want a little plastic baseball to glue into place or something. So this is just, it's one-dimensional, but it's really cute. And you know what? Whoops, I might have it too low. No, we'll see. What do you think? You like the way that's placed? Okay, I'm crooked. There we go. Maybe a little bit higher. I think it needs to go a little bit higher. Okay. This is why you put it on a holder, so you can see what you're doing. Because when you're working with it laying down, it's really hard to gauge your dimension and gauge where you are. Come on, wires. Okay. This little ball just flopping around. It's so cute. I may have to, I only have one little hook on it because it's so small. I mean, there really wasn't places to put more than one, but I think I may have to do that. So, let me see. Let's see if I can get this on here. I will not bore you while I do that. If I have to add another one. Oh, that's not my needle nose. That's my wire cutters. I have lost my needle nose pliers 3 times today. And now I dumped a bunch of ribbons on the floor. Oh dear. That mesh catches everything. Okay. There we go. Okie doke. So now you can see, well, let's see if I can get it straight. So far, what we have here, although the ball is actually on the right to you, and what I'm seeing is a mirror. I'm going to have to put another little cable tie and adhere that down so it'll be straight. But let's make a bow. I can do all of these little final touches. It fell off. I'll put a nice hanger on this wreath too. It's too heavy. Okay, it's not going to stay. I can weight it down with stuff. I weight it down. I can't weight it down. Okay, it's going to go in the chair. There. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I'm going to bring out this easy bow maker. And this is what I'm going to use to make my bow. But I promised you a little sparkle, and a little sparkle you're going to get. Oh, thanks, Tammy. Oh, Jonathan, you just got off work. You're sharing this to Red Beret so we can add this. Ah, thank you. I love you too, Laura. Thanks for sharing. Gorgeous. Thank you, Rena. Oh, you are the sweetest, Rena. She's so... I love doing this. It's such good therapy. Yes, I'm going to do a Medicare for All, actually. And yes, a Red Berets wreath would be great. I will do both of those. I have a lady that custom makes signs. She's personalized it by Pam. And so I'm going to order a Medicare for All wreath. But Donnie's gotten into making signs, so maybe he'll do it too. Carol's here. Yay, Carol. Can you see it so far? The sign, the ribbons, the baseball, and now the bow. And we're going to put some sparkle in this bow. I'm glad you're back. This wreath is Carol's, and I know she's anxious to have it. You know what? I just fell in love with this ribbon, and we're going to put it in this bow. And this is 2.5-inch ribbon, and we're going to start. I've already cut off the end. You know how they fold the end under, and so you lose about 1 inch? I've already done that. So I'm going to start, and because this is such a big wreath, we're going to have a great big bow. So I'm going to go all the way to the end of my board with the tail, which is 8 inches. And so you can watch me. I'm just going to gather it right there. I'll pull this down. I went to the end, and I'm going to pull it down, and I'm going to twist this. And so the pretty side's up, you know, you got to have your loops with the pretty side up. And I'm going to go out to 7 inches on this bow because we want a nice, big, juicy bow. So I go to the 7, and I'm going to press this down. And I'm going to twist it. I always go under when I twist. It just seems to be, I'm right at that 7. Okay. I'm going to come back over to the 7 here and hold that down. There we go. And I'll pull this out. There we are. Then I'll get my, oh, I used them to weight down though. I use these scissors only for ribbon. This mesh will kill a pair of scissors in no time. So I have scissors only for ribbon. And so down 1. We're going to put 6. We're going to put 6 ribbons in here. Look at this sparkly ribbon. You like this, Carol? That glitter, you probably see glitter all over me because I've been working with glitter ribbon today. And I just love this. So what I'm going to do is with each loop, each time I put a ribbon on, I'm going to come in 1/2 of an inch. But I want the tails here to be about the same. So I'm going to go back to that 8-inch point. And then I will pull that down. I didn't quite get there. Okay, and then we will twist. This ribbon feels funny. It's almost got like a plastic on the other side of it. Probably weatherproof. So the first loop was 7, so we're going to go to 6, about 6.5 on this one. Some people come in 1 inch, and I don't like to do that much. I like to keep those loops out there, and especially when you have so many. I like to come in no more than that, about 1/2 of an inch. And so there we go with that one. And there we go with that. This explains that ribbon, that rubber back explains why I have a hard time putting a pin through it. I put little pins through to hold my ribbon on my spool so they don't come off. I was using rubber bands, but it was kind of denting my ribbon. So I decided to go to the pins. And I bent that pin trying to put it in here. So I'm using corsage pins because they seem to go through a little better. Sometimes my straight pins were just bending way too much. There we go. Okay. Now, okay, I want to use ribbons I do not have in my wreath, because if I have them in the wreath, then they don't stand out as much. Oh, another thing, see, what you want to do is when you pull you want to pull your ribbons up on each side to make sure that they match in size, and they do. So there we go. Okay. So I need an orange. What do you think of this one? This has got great big dots. I think we'll go with this one. Okay, so I'm going to go to the 8-inch that for the tails, because I can always cut my tails off, but it's harder to make them longer if you've cut them too short. So I'd rather just have a little extra ribbon there, and 1/2 inch in on this one. Oh, this is such pretty canvas ribbon. It's got so much body. I think most of us wreath makers prefer the canvas because of the body it has. I'm going to end with one I don't like very much. I like the ribbon fine. I just don't like satin ribbon, but it's what came in. I wanted to use a solid in here, and the solid came in satin, so that's what we got. And you work with what you have. Okay, we're going to double check and make sure that these are the same, and they are. So it tells me the measurement on this Easy Bow Maker is really good. I've had this Easy Bow Maker since this model first came out, so that's, gosh, probably about 40 years now. And they have a new model out. Hi, Faye. Hi, Donna. I am so glad. And Callie. Is it Callie November? First time here. Oh, I love these. I love having first timers. Please like my page and share my video with your friends. And like I was saying, I'm going to be having a giveaway. I'm going to give away a bow maker. It won't be this one. It'll be a better one. It'll be a newer one. And when I get to 100 followers on my page, and I'm over 500 now, so you all share this and get that up, then you'll be in the drawing. Also, would you please, if you like my videos and you like to be notified when I go live, please down in the messenger put live alert. Just type live or alert in the messenger, and then it'll ask you if you want to be notified. So you click yes, and then every time I do a live video, you'll get a notification that I'm going live. And I would love it if you would do that, because that's what makes it so fun, and that's what makes the business grow. So, okay, so we've got those 3 2.5 inch ribbons. I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to use this one because even though we used it in the little bitty ones, we didn't use it in the tails, and we didn't use it very much, so we're going to do that one. And then, what other one? I need another 1.5 inches. I guess I'll use this one again because it's so pretty. I love the blue. After all, the colors are blue and orange, right? So, okay, we'll do this one next. And see, you just kind of guess and do what you want. Now, when I do the 1.5 inch ribbon, I make my tails longer than in the wider ribbon. So I'm going to go about 1 inch longer on those. And it just gives a little more definition. And also it allows you, if you want to curl them up, you can. So on this one, we're going to go another 1/2 inch in. So I don't even know where that is now. We're in about 6 now, I guess. 7, 6.5, 6. No, we're about 5.5. Okay, so I'm going in here. Make sure, okay, that needs to come out just a hair. There we go. There, we're even. All right. Okay. Got a little sparkle going on in this bow. Yeah. Most of us, when we make bows, even though we're confident that we know how to do them, you always have that little thing about, oh, is it going to turn out? Is it going to turn out? Is it going to turn out? Yeah, it's going to turn out. But you always still feel that way, you know. It's like, just wonder, you know, is it going to be okay? So I've gone orange, blue, orange, blue. So we're going to do orange. And I wish, oh, you know what I do? I do have one. Okay. So this is the satin, but this has a lot of body. See what I mean? You get this little fold when you first get this. So we're going to knock that one. We're going to just cut that right off. So there is a lot of body in this satin. I'm surprised. Some of them are real floppy. So this is going to be down to 5 inches. Make sure I'm going to put these out of the way. So, and sometimes I do this a little bit different. Sometimes I pull all of my loops out different directions as I'm going, and then sometimes I just have them all lined up. It just depends on how many ribbons I'm working with more than anything. So there we go. Okay. So we're going to measure our loops right here. They are the same. Okay. Okay, we're going to finish with one bow that's in there because I love this, the blue and the orange. That's going to go on the top. Wrap up my ribbons. If I don't wrap these up, I'll end up with ribbon going everywhere. I loved this ribbon. I really wanted to use this ribbon, but it's just not quite orange enough. It matches the orange in the bottom, but it's just a little, lacks a little brightness. But I liked it because it's got a little glitz in it, and I really wanted to use it, but I'm going to resist the urge because we want our colors to stay true, right? I love having all you first timers, and like I said again, please like and follow my page, and please share. I really appreciate it if you just share my video to your page, and then maybe people that you know will like it as well, and we'll share it, and I'll get to those 100 followers. You know, there's people in this business who've been doing it a long time, and they've got 1,000. So, you know, I would love to get to that. I can't imagine stopping doing this. I'm loving it. It's great therapy. And okay, so I've got that. You know what? I think I'm going to put a little loop on the, I'm going to put a little loop in the middle. So to do that, I need one more. So we'll go with this one. And all I'm going to do is, I don't really need it on here, but I'm going to just go have one tail, and then I'm going to twist it and make a small loop. There we go. Cut this off. Well, that wasn't a very nice cut. There we go. I'm going to tuck this under right here. And that way when I tie my bow, it will be caught in there, but we'll have that one center loop. So now I have a lot of ribbon in here, so sometimes you use pipe cleaners, but right now I'm going to use a cable tie because I have a lot of thick ribbon in here, and so I want to make sure that I get everything secure. So I stick my cable tie under the bottom. I'm going to pull it through here. No, I always do it upside down the first time. Always. Never fails. Okay. So I'm going to get this started. Zip, 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 zip. Here, zip. Okay. Then I'll pull it off. So then what I need to do is just kind of shimmy this over to the center where the center of the bow is. And that loop is going to need to be a little smaller. So I'm going to pull it a little smaller. And then I'll go in and clip that. Okay. Now, before I tighten this all the way around, first thing I got to do is I've got to move it around so that the little fastener is in the back, because we sure don't want that in the front. It's not very pretty, right? And I need that can go even smaller. And then I'll tighten it up a little more. We don't want to tighten it up all the way until we have fluffed it out. Because once you've tightened with a cable tie, hi Jeff, great to see you or hear from you anyway. How are you doing? Okay, so I have this fancy little thing that Dondi made me. It's called a little fluff box. So I'm going to stick it over this hook on this little fluff box, and then I'll start fluffing this bow. So you always start from the bottom. So I'm going to pull this loop up like this, and then I'll pull this one. Don't do it. I'm going to pull opposite. Okay. And then I'll pull this one up. Put your hands in there and just kind of spread your fingers like this to fluff your ribbons or your loops. Pull this down. Okay, this one goes that way. So I'll pull this one up this way. Just put your hands in there and just go there. Now I want the tails to go up and down. So I'm going to pull, let's see. Think about what I'm doing. Sorry, guys. I'm going to pull this one up here. And this one's down here. And I've got a loop here, so I need this tail to go up around. Okay. So you just have, whatever you do opposite. You know, if you do a loop here, you have a tail. If you have a tail here. I'm sorry, I got confused with what I was doing. You have a loop here, you have a tail here. I don't mean to have two tails there. There we go. Okay, and so we've got this orange polka dot, that loop there. So where's the tail? Find my tail. Okay, so I need to pull this tail over here, and with this loop, and this tail over here with this loop, and always fluffing them. Always fluffing them. It looks like a mess, doesn't it? Look like a hot mess? But it's not going to be a hot mess, I promise you. So we're going to pull that one there, pull this one here. Got to be careful. You don't want to pull too far because you don't want to pull your, definitely don't want to pull your bows out. Let's see, where's that other? There's that loop. Okay, so I've got that loop there. And that tail there. Put the wrong tail in the wrong place. There we go. And then we've got this one here. At some point, you do get to where you're opposite each other. Try and get my hands in here. Okay, now, let's see. Okay, so we have to have something on this bow to tie this bow onto the wreath, off this hook. Can you see? So what we're going to do is take this pipe cleaner and put it through the zip tie underneath it. And of course, now I'm smashing the bow again, but at least everything's placed where I need it to be. So then we go. So here we have this. I'm probably going to need two. because that's a big old puffy wreath that it's going to go through. So I'm going to take 2 pipe cleaners, and I'll just twist these together to make it longer. And trust me, they stay. Okay. You're doing great. I'm glad you're doing great. I'm doing fine. Hi, Verna. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Please like my page, follow my page, and share this with your friends. I'm going to be doing a bow maker giveaway as soon as I get to 1,000 shares and likes and follows on my page. And I'm pulling this very tight as it can go, because we don't want it to come loose. And so now we'll just fluff back up. And of course we fluff and fluff and fluff, because every time you do something, you have to go back and fluff again. So that's what we will do. But aren't the colors awesome? This is going to be such a cool bow on this wreath. So now what we want to do is we want to dovetail. So when you dovetail, you take it right sides, take your ribbon right sides together, and you take it from the fold. Always start with cutting at the fold and then cut down toward the edge of the ribbon. And if you do that, you won't ever cut with the point. You'll always get your dovetail. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is I'm just going to dovetail all these ribbons. Sometimes I do this as I'm making my bow. Clearly, uh-oh, I got that caught. I didn't get that cut cleanly. There we go. This canvas ribbon is awesome. So you guys, I'm having major surgery on Monday, and I'm going to be out of commission for a while. So I'll try to be making a few posts on my page. I don't know how long it'll be before I'll be able to do another live. It just kind of depends on my recovery. No point in not telling you. 11 years ago, I had a very large, oh shoot, okay, I have notifications popping up. Go away, I don't need you right now. I had a large hiatal hernia. Hi, Nicole. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Did you get your size matters and everything? You did, didn't you? And anyway, I had a large hiatal hernia repaired. It's kind of a vicious surgery. And but the upshot is the mesh has failed and the hernia has returned. Now the hernia is not as big as it was before, but what it has done is it has pulled my stomach all the way up into my thoracic cavity. So my stomach is up by my aorta. Well, it's not supposed to live there, and it's causing all kinds of pain and difficulty for me. So we've been trying since November to get revisionist surgery scheduled, but this time it's going to be done robotically because it's such a complex surgery, and they just feel like they'll have a better success if they can do it with robotics. And of course, the problem with that is getting your best team. My surgeon is determined he has to have his very best team. He said, if we get to the hospital and somebody on my team hasn't shown up or they're not there, he said, I'll cancel, because I'm not going to touch you unless my very best team is on board. And so that kind of makes me feel two things. First of all, it makes me feel more secure that he wants that, but it also scares me a little, because it's like, you make it sound like it's really a bad deal. And I really have a lot of faith in him. I think he's the best robotic surgeon in Huntsville. And so I do have a lot of faith in him. And I have a lot of faith in God, too, that it's all going to be okay. I don't think, I'm not expecting anything to go wrong. But I am 11 years older and a lot heavier than I was when I had that before. And, of course, that's not always a good thing. The last time I was supposed to have it was the day my mother fell and broke her femur, and she was in the hospital having surgery for that, and she's just turned 95. And so it's a good thing I didn't have surgery that day, because I stayed in the hospital with her most of that time. So, what do you think of this bow? You like this bow? I think it looks pretty good. I'm so glad, Nicole. I'm glad you love them. So now what you do is you fluff these ribbons. You want to put your hand under them. Carol, pay attention, or Jeff, whichever one of you is going to watch this wreath. You want to pull from the bottom. You just gently put your hand under the loop and just pull it up like this and kind of fluff it up this way. And like I said, when you're fluffing up the loops, you just put your hand in and spread your fingers. And, you know, this is going to have to be done every now and then because nothing stays real well. You know, certain ribbons stay better than others. But anyway, there it is. So now I got to find those wire cutters. We're going to clip off this extra from that cable tie. And we're going to put this on this wreath. So here we go. What do you think? Isn't that sharp? I think that's pretty. Now, a rule of thumb when you put a bow on a wreath, let me show you. In the back, you've got all these different little wires from your frame. You don't want to stick as a rule of thumb. Now, sometimes that rule is broken, but you don't want to stick your bow on that top one because if you do that, I'm stuck. It'll put your bow up too high. You don't want your bow up here like a top hat. You want it down in the front of your wreath. So what you do is you try to aim for that second bar. Whoa, I just knocked it over. So I'm going to get these pipe cleaners through here. And got one right there. The other thing you want to do when you put your bow on your wreath is you want to make sure that you don't put it where your ties are. You want to put it on top of the poofs because you want it to stand out. So you want it to have that body and you really want it to stand out really pretty like that. So let me see where we're at. I think that looks good. Okay, so I'm just going to twist this bow on here. And like I said, you don't go too tight. You don't want it to be smashed down into your wreath. You want it to sit on top of your wreath. So you want to make sure that it's secure, but it might feel like it's going to flop a little bit because you have it up there where it belongs, but it's not. It's secure, I promise. So there we go. I will secure this baseball. I'll show you what I do with that. I use these little cable ties. I thought one would be enough on this little guy, but obviously not. So they're these little cable ties, and they have adhesive backs. And I always add a little extra glue to them. Just sometimes heat gets to them, and the glue will kind of separate. And so when you have something that's just adhesive, I don't trust it all the time. Whoop. So I'm just going to add a little glue. I don't have my hot glue gun on, so I'm going to use this. This is the best glue. It's called Fabri-Tac, and it's for, my gosh, it'll hold just about anything, and I love it. So I'm going to stick that on. And then I'll just go to the back of this little ball, and I'll put another one, because I already have one on there, so I'll put this on the other side. And as soon as that is dried, then I will put another wire through and secure that ball. Okay, so now all we have to do is decide, do we need to put any more ribbons in this thing? And, you know, we've got all the outside ribbons. Well, we have a few ties that don't have anything in them. Fluff this bow. When this arrives at your house, Jeff and Carol, it will be wired to a box. And, oh, thank you, Q, you're watching. I'm so glad. You'll take that off my hands? Oh, good, because it's coming your way, sweetie. It's all yours. Are you happy? Whoops. What did I pull? I pulled my fluff box. Oh, dear. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is there's some of these little ties on the inner ring that don't have any ribbons. So after I secure my ball, because I need to definitely get it secured when that's dry. That's going to take a little while to dry. But then I'm going to go in, and wherever there's a tie on the inner ring, I'm going to put more of my ribbon ties because I have more of them cut. And so that's what I will do. So I will fill those in. Let's see, for instance, let's see what we got here. Give you an idea. Let's see. So I find my middle, and then I squeeze it together, and then I shape them. And then I'm going to go right into this tie and lay that down. And I twist it 3 times to hold it securely. Now on the top, rather than having them just down like this, I'll put them a little more in an X so they show off a little bit better. So from the front, but I still shape them the same way, like this. And I'll definitely have to make some more of those little glitzy bows like I have around the outside. I'll put those in too. So you see, I'll have a few more ribbons in the middle here, and but they're not going to hide that gorgeous mesh. So I will secure our little ball that I keep flipping around. I cannot get used to being backward, the mirror image. So I will just add a few more ribbons, you know, not going to take more than probably 2 or 3 more. And when this gets to your house, I will have wires through the back of the box. It will wire this. Oh, good, 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 good. That would be great. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Carol, I love you so much. I miss you guys. It's been so long since we've seen each other. But we're going to be up there in August. It's going to be a short pass through, but we're going to be heading. Oh, thank you. Oh, yes, it's also Auburn colors. And I do have plenty of blues and oranges left, so I can be making some Auburn wreaths. And for the Auburn football fans, I even have a cute little football to put on an Auburn wreath. But I'm really pleased with the way it turned out, and I'm glad you're happy, Carol. Oh, I am so, so glad. I wanted it to be really, really special for you. Let me show you what I have to put on an Auburn wreath. Got me a little football. Isn't that cute? And I've got, for Alabama fans, I've got the neatest thing. I thought I had one handy. Maybe I don't. I guess they're not open. I got a dozen of these things because Alabama is really popular here too. Let me open this up. Can't use my ribbon scissors. Where's my other hand? I saw these and I thought, oh, I have to have these for the Bama fans. And I've got so many rolls of ribbon for Bama. But they didn't have enough for Auburn at the time. Aren't these neat? The famous hound's tooth that Bear Bryant made famous. So I've got the A's to put on Bama wreaths, and then I'll get some more Auburn things when they come in. But it's fun to do the sports, and everybody's so big into it. You what? RTR. Okay, that's so beautiful. Okay, love it. Thank you, Rena. We RTR. I'm drawing a blank. What's RTR? I know that I'm going to regret asking because I'm going to feel stupid that I didn't realize what it was. But do tell. What's RTR? I've got a mess on my hands. Little pieces of ribbon everywhere. What was I going to show you guys? Oh, I know. I told you I would show you how to make these little bows. So before we go, let me show you because I have to have a couple more for the top. So what I do is I cut my ribbon I'll just 24 inches and drop it. Okay. So it's 24 inches, and then you just fold it in half, and then you fold it in half again. You open it up in that crease you made where you fold it in half there, then you just gather that. And so now you need your tails. So you want your tails, of course, facing the same way. So you open them up, you open this ribbon into a loop, and you bring it, you twist it, bring it down, and there you have a ribbon. But what you need to do then is you need to cross your loops at the bottom, because otherwise one will not be caught up in your twist tie or your pipe cleaner or whatever else you secure. So then all you do is secure it with 1/4 of a pipe cleaner. It's all it takes. And you just twist it there. And oh, sorry guys, my hand is cramping. It cramped so bad earlier I couldn't even put the rubber back on, plastic back on the back of my earring. So anyway, so that's all there is to it. Now on these you can either dovetail them. I dovetailed everything else, so on these I just decided to go like this, and just a little bit different, just a little interest. And so that's what I did with those. And then I'll show you what I do with the tubing. This tubing is amazing. I've got a box here, almost every color. So it comes in 30-yard lengths, and it's just fun. So I do the same thing. I cut that in about 24 inches, and I fold it in half again. Actually, I don't need to fold it in half again. I just bring my loop down, cross my ties, and there you go. So then I'm using blue because that's what's in the wreath. Everything's held in with these blue metallic pipe cleaners. So there you go. Simple as that. And so you just have these little flex tubing bows, and then we have these, and so there we go. Alrighty guys, it's been a lot of fun. I'm so tickled to get this wreath done. I'll find me a box, or send Dondi to get a TV box from Best Buy, because I won't be driving anywhere for a while. Surgery is Monday morning. I have to be there at 8. Surgery's at 10. It's going to be at least 3 hours long, and then I'm going to be admitted to the hospital, and hopefully get sent home the next day, but you just never know. And but I'm counting on the next day, because I have 3 doggies to get home to. Although they're going to want to jump on me, and that's not going to be allowed, because I'm going to have 5 incisions. But hopefully they'll be very small. Now, one thing I would ask you guys to do, please keep me in your thoughts and prayers, because this surgery is a little complex and tenuous. And because I've had gallbladder surgery and I've had this before, what's going to make it so hard is scar tissue. And so if he gets in there with I can actually feel my stomach up here. There's a big bulge where it is up here. And it's supposed to be down here, you know. It's not supposed to be up by your heart. But if he gets in there and the scar tissue is too much and it's just too close to my heart, he said he will back out and close up, and then I will have to have a thoracic surgeon do this. And we don't want that, because they normally don't do as well. Plus, they cut you from like here all the way down. And I'd rather have 5 little laparoscopic incisions than one big one right down the middle. I wouldn't like that very much. So I would ask you guys to keep me in your thoughts and prayers, and know that oh, thank you, Marianne. Thank you. The Franklin family loves you and many blessings, and you're in our prayers. Thank you. Thank you, Nicole, everybody. Oh, Rita, thank you. Everybody's been so wonderful and so nice. I ask you one last time, I know you're tired of hearing me ask you to please follow my page and share, like my page, and I will be uploading this to YouTube. And when I I'll post that it's on YouTube, so I would ask that you go to YouTube. YouTube, once I get 100 followers on YouTube, I can actually get my URL. But the real goal is to get to 1,000. and that's going to take a lot of sharing. And so when you do go to my YouTube, there's a little bell there. If you just ring my bell, and then you'll get notified of whenever there's other videos loaded up there, so you can watch them too. Thank you, Melinda. I appreciate that very much. You guys are wonderful. Thank you, Joan. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. It was a pleasure to finish Carol's Wreath on live. I was always wanting to do that. It's kind of fun watching, having her watch while I'm finishing it, and I'm so glad that you guys, Carol, Jeff, and Cassie, that you're happy with it. We'll get a big old TV box to pack it in. It'll have wires through the back. The wires will be taped down. You'll just pull the tape off the wires, and then you can clip the wires and then gently pull the wreath out. And you will probably have to do a little bit of fluffing of the ribbons and things, because sometimes they settle a little bit in shipping, but it shouldn't be a big deal. And I will include care instructions, and I hope you enjoy it for many, many, many years. And I thank you. I love you all. Thank you, Verna. I appreciate that. She says, beautiful wreath. Good luck on Monday. Prayers. Oh, I am so. And my daughter-in-law just joined, and as I'm ready to sign off, y'all, while you're praying, please pray for them. They have the most beautiful little cockatiel named Zazzle. And Zazzle is Zoe's bird, and she flew out the door on Thursday, and they have not found her. And she, believe me, she's one entitled bird. I've never seen a bird with such personality. She is hilarious, and she loves my son. He cannot walk in the door and sneak in with anything, because she goes squawk, squawk, squawk. She announces him, but she's flown out the door, and they're heartily looking for her, and just hoping and praying that somebody will find her and will call or post about having found her. She's such a beautiful little thing, and Zoe named her Zazzle because it had 3 Z's, like Zoe has a Z, and they've had her for quite a while, and they miss her. So, you know, please pray for her to be returned to her family where she belongs. I'm sure she's missing Michael. I wish she had a radar in her and knew how to find her way home. But anyway, thank you so much again for joining. Oh, Gail, you joined just as I'm saying good night. Please like and share my video, and go back and watch the replay. And follow my page, please. I'm having a bow maker giveaway as soon as I get to that 1,000 mark. So the more you like and share, the faster we'll get there. Thank you. Good night.